What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video we are looking at a 2004 Toyota Avalon 3.0. Customers complaint drive belts are making noise, or drive belt is making noise, mostly when the car is cold first thing in the morning. Car was dropped off yesterday. When I first brought the car into the shop, I was going to bring it in so I could let it sit overnight. When I first turned it on, I heard a small chirp from one of the belts. It wasn't long enough for me to get out there and look and see which one it was. So I just brought it in the bay and let it sit overnight. This morning I did do a visual of the brakes, or the belts, I'm sorry. Belts look okay as far as, you know, the flat surface of it. I don't see any glazing. I don't see any cracking on the rib part of it. I don't see any oil contamination. They don't seem loose. So I'm going to go ahead and resituate the camera. I'm going to turn the car on and hopefully we can duplicate the problem. And then we can kind of proceed to diagnose from there. Figure out which belt's making noise. Or is it a accessory on one of the belts, you know, pulley. We'll see. We'll see what it is. So let me resituate the camera and we'll get the car started. Okay, so I started the car and it was a very quick noise. To the point where once I started the car by sticking my hand through the window and coming to the front, it was already done. The noise was gone already. Doesn't seem like a belt noise. So what I went ahead and did is I decided to run a remote start. So let's see if I can hear it again. Right there. Huh. Let's try that again. See, what is that? It's very quick though. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to remove both belts and see if the problem is still present. If it is, then we can go from there. So I'm going to get the belts off. We're going to run that test again, and then we're going to see what happens. So I got both belts off. Now, looking at the belts, they look fairly new, to be honest with you. I don't see any cracking. I don't see any glazing. But, like I said, the noise sounds more like a rattle. So I spun everything manually, and they feel okay. Alternator, the only thing we have on here is a crank pulley, the alternator pulley, AC compressor, and the power steering pump. There's no idlers, there's no tensioners, as far as being like separate from any component. So it's all we have. So key is on. I'm going to go ahead and fire it up again and see what happens. Now, unfortunately, you guys really can't hear what I'm hearing. But it's like a weird rattling sound. So let's see. Yeah, I still hear it. And let me get this valve cover off. Or the valve cover. Sorry for shaking the camera. That's my bad. It's just where it's mounted to. So let's get this off. Let's get my earpiece out, actually, because it's kind of, I mean, I can hear clear, but I don't know, kind of sounds like valve train. But let's see. Let's get this off so I can get a little bit closer onto the valve cover area. Let's do this again. Oh, how about that? You don't want to do it again now? Damn it, let's just quit. But that sounds like, almost sounds like lifter noise. Or the rocker arms. Yeah, when I stick my head back there, it doesn't want to do it, huh? When I stay back here, it's doing it just fine. One more. Well, that kind of sounds, it kind of sounds like it's coming from the bottom though. Because I hear it over here. Or it's coming inside the, it could be from the timing belt area as well. Did I forget to put that back in all the way? Alright, well. Well, we got that noise too. I wonder if that's what the customer is hearing. It's weird. Let me tighten this. So that band clamp is loose, actually. Try this again, yeah? That could be what they're hearing. I would definitely complain about that, that's for sure. Alright, so what the hell is that? Well, just went away. I'm gonna have to pull these boots off and see what's going on with those. Maybe there's a hole in one of them. So I don't think it's going to be that rattling noise that I hear that the customer's complaining about. I'm going to assume, since that one is very audible, that squealing sound, it's going to be that noise. So I'm going to pull those two intake boots off and visually inspect them, see if they're cracked or anything like that. So I got the two boots off. They don't look cracked. Nothing seems to be wrong with them. I don't see any splitting. I don't see any holes. They seem to be okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly just clean the throttle body really quick. Just open the blades and just clean around them really quick. Put everything back together to see if the noise happens again. If it does, then I'm gonna go grab the smoke machine and see if we have a small leak anywhere around this area, because that seems to be the noise that the customer is hearing, because that's the more audible one. So yeah, let's go ahead and let's clean the throttle body real quick, and then put everything back together and see if it happens again. Okay, let's go ahead and start it, and let's see what it does. Okay. Well, I still hear it. Small, huh? Okay then. Let's, you know what, here, I believe it might be that. What the hell? Could it be the seal right here? Let's see, where's my brake cleaner at? Okay, so let's go ahead and smoke it, and let's see if we can get also wolf concern that. What is that? Ah, you know what? There's a nut missing right here. That would definitely make it. Okay, I overlooked that. So there's actually a nut missing right here on the throttle body, which would make sense because when I'm moving it, I'm shifting it. Let me go ahead and find a nut. Let's put that back on and let's see if the noise goes away. Okay, so luckily I had a nut right on my cart. I put the nut on, so let's go ahead and button all this up properly. Get it how it's supposed to be. And I did check the tightness on the other two. They seem okay, so let's try it again. Okay, I do hear it a little bit when I push on it. So I'm probably going to recommend replacing the gasket that goes in between this flange, just in case. Having it loose may have damaged it maybe. But other than that, yeah, let's back it back off. Let's just confirm. Oh yeah, there you go. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna replace that flange gasket, and this car should be fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do a full inspection on the car, put some recommendations on it. And then if we get approval to do that flange gasket, I'll go ahead and show you how to do it. It's pretty easy actually. We just pull the air box off, take off those 3 flange bolts, slide it out, put in the gasket, slide everything back in, and done deal. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put my paperwork in and we'll go from there. So a little bit of side note on the way they do things at this shop. So as you can see in the beginning, I was going towards a noise that I heard. The customer didn't specify what the noise was. It just said the car's making noise in the morning when the car's cold. Other shops, or when I was a service advisor, I would actually ask to kind of duplicate the noise. Like, what does the noise sound like? Is it a squealing? Is it a chirping? Is it a whining sound? Is it a whistling sound like how this one was? I try to get as much info for the tech as possible so he can have an easier time diagnosing. So, example for that one, I wouldn't have had to remove the belts had they said it was more of a whistling noise. So I would have let the car running. If I didn't hear it, I didn't hear it. You know, I would have left it alone. But I heard something, and I was trying to pinpoint what that was until the actual complaint noise came. So a little bit of a waste of time, which is kind of common when it comes to diag here. It's they just customer says my car is doing this, write it down, and that's that. You know, again, when I was an advisor, when I was younger in this industry, I did everything in this industry. I did auto repair, and I've done advisor. Just try it out. As a technician, I know the questions to ask that the technician wants to know. You know, is a car leaking? Okay, you know, what color is the fluid? In what general area is it leaking from? When does it happen? Just small stuff like that. Noises, going over a pothole, idle, highway speed, step on the gas, hit the brake, you know, when is it making noise? It's just simple questions to not waste the time with the technician. So I just wanted to bring that up to you. You know, I didn't know what the noise was going into it. Customer didn't specify, and the tech or the advisor didn't know. Obviously, once I heard it, that's really loud, and it was persistent. It wasn't just like quickly come and go. It stayed there for a while. Now, the reason it would do it more so when it's cold is because the aluminum is cold and it's gonna have a wider gap. So as the car warms up, the clearance gets tighter. I guarantee the noise kind of goes away. It probably wasn't gone. It was probably there the whole time. Maybe the customer just didn't notice it. Maybe it died down a little bit when it got hot. But yeah, that's just a little bit of why I wasted my freaking time taking the belts off. So again, I'm gonna get the paperwork in, and then we'll try and get this car fixed. So I got the gasket off. I just did it off camera just to do it really quick, but I'll show you exactly what I did. So I unbolted the airbox. There was one bracket back here that you need to take one bolt off, and then you got these 3 nuts, and And then you just slide it back, slide the gasket off. So we'll put the new gasket on camera. Just for the sake of having a shorter video, I didn't want to do both. Okay, so here's the brand new thick gasket. Okay, so it's going to be like this. No, like this. Yeah. Okay, so we'll slide that on. If I can get it on there, got one there, that one there. And then we'll slide this back in. Put our nuts back on. Get the other one that I found and put on for them. That one back on. And then get this one right here, which is a little bit of the harder one to really reach with wrenches, but it's not too bad. And then we'll pull it back, tighten them all by hand. And then we'll get 13. Oh, it's 12, sorry. Get our 13, and we'll snug this one up. That's good. Alright, there's two. And let's use the ratcheting one on that one. And then snug it with the box end. We can actually get to it. Actually use a ratchet. I can kind of get to it. And we'll snug it up. Nice and tight. And then we'll put the support one back in, which is this one right here. Same size as the other ones, by the way. So let's start that by hand. Okay, it's started, it's threaded in. And let's go ahead and tighten that down. And we snug that up, get our tools out of the way. And let me try and do this without shaking the camera. Perfect. Let's fire it up. Put the airbox back on first. There you go. Make sure everything is good. Let's put the airbox back on. That's done. Let's fire it up and see what it does. You should be able to wiggle it without it making noise. And that's good. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw the belts back on, and this car is good to go. Like and subscribe.